Yeah, I felt relief. And mostly because I've engaged with some of his survivors, gotten to know a few, and I know how stressful this situation has been. And I know survivors from other high profile cases. It's just they are on pins and needles waiting to hear, you know, what the outcome is going to be. So I felt a sense of relief. I also felt a little bit of relief for, like, this has been a long time coming. This has been a very long time coming. So not only the survivors, but for the organizers and activists and writers and just like plethora of black women and some of our allies who have been at this for the longest time, who've been ringing the alarm for the longest time. It felt like, gosh, this is not always the way justice will be served, if we can call it justice, but at least it feels like something. Oh, there was certainly doubt. You don't know until you know, particularly when it comes to sexual violence. And I mean, there was a video in the last case, right? There was like a video evidence of him committing that crime, and he still managed to slip out of the hands of justice, if you will. So no, I was not trying to think any one way or the other until the actual verdict came in. It looked like it was heading in this direction, but you just don't know. And so any opportunity we have to come together to celebrate each other is just like a breath of fresh air. I think we need this break. We need to. I think it says that you have to believe in the power of your own community, because this would not have happened if not for black women staying the course. If it wasn't for when Me Too went viral, first of all, we should note that Mute R. Kelly, the hashtag, came about before Me Too even became a hashtag, right? So it was black women who decided we are not going to let this fall on deaf ears. It was black women who decided that if nobody else is going to care, we're going to care for black women and girls in our community. And you see the same thing in indigenous communities. You see the same thing in other communities of color. A lot of times it is women and allies who come together and say, you're going to hear us regardless of what else is going on, right? Um, and so I hope that sends the message to other black girls and little girls of color, young women of color who are watching this, that we can count on each other. That you may not get mainstream media right away. You may not get, all the fanfare that white women get, but this is why we have to raise our voices. This is why we have a Me Too movement, not hashtag Me Too, but a Me Too movement that is grounded in focusing on survivors and the survivors who are pushed to the margins. That's what this says to me.
Guys, I promise you, we're gonna straighten all of this stuff out. That's all I can say right now. I promise you.
I think it played a huge role. I think the fact that these were black girls and black women, black young women, even and Latina um, girls and women played a huge role in the fact that it took this long for a trial and a conviction to actually come. And, Jim DeRogatis, who is the white reporter who held the line on this story for 21 years, has that really famous quote from 2013 where he was doing all this research and talking about trying to get the case out into the public and for people to care. And he said I'm paraphrasing, but he says something to the effect that what he learned in this R. Kelly case is that nobody matters less in this country than black girls.
All right, what's up, man? What's going on? How you doing? What's up, man? I'm good.
I think there's a sense of catharsis. I think that there is some relief that they're raising their voices mattered, right? Because I think for a lot of people who have come forward, both in this case and outside of this case, only to have it fall on deaf ears or not be believed or not see a conviction, right? Which is why we try to encourage people not to put their eggs in the basket of a conviction, like not to seek healing from the outcome of a court case, because you just can't control it. But I do think that they probably feel some sense of relief, and if nothing else, some closure maybe to this chapter.
It's an honor to be here performing on the stage with her, first of all, for the second time. It's just unbelievable.